I'm John Beaudin with part one of our conversation with the great David Paich. In this one, we talk about all the stars he met via his dad, the great Marty Paich. Remember, if you want to help out the channel, there are links in the description where you can PayPal us or else join our Patreon where you can see all the David Paich clips early. Well, speaking of those kind of moments, surrounding by your dad, who was an A-list guy who knew everybody.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time where a time where you looked around and you felt starstruck? I know you worked with McCartney and.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially when I go to my father's sessions, because there'd be these great singers there. Ella Fitzgerald. I met Sammy Davis when I was 13. I've got a picture of him. Sarah Vaughan, Barbra Streisand, and everything. And I'll tell you, but when you get around, when you're around certain stars, they have this aura about them. It's like rarefied air. Streisand's that way. When you meet a Beatle, any Beatle that's like that, you just pinch me. You go into a fog because you're actually talking to, one of the Beatles or a Rolling Stone. If you meet a Rolling Stone, it's like that. And Elton John's like that as well. You meet him, I just want to get out an autograph book and say, will you sign my book? That's how much of a fan I am of those three enigmatic people I just mentioned.
But are you able to step back and realize, obviously that people look at you that way?
Yeah. I have to step back when I'm working with people, especially like on the McCartney, Michael Jackson, The Girl Is Mine. I was like, it was a pinch me moment, and I had to just snap out of it and say, I'm working right here, so I got to pay attention here, instead of looking at Linda McCartney, who's right here with a camera shooting through me the rest of the session. There's Paul and Jeff Porcaro and Lukather and everybody, and we're in real tight, So it was, I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now.
Did you get a chance to talk to him?
For a little bit, but it was mainly about the music, how he wanted the music to start small and get louder, which is called a crescendo, crescendo louder in the bridge. And that was pretty much it. And the rest of it was just, he complimented us because I played the last last chord to Day in the Life. I just hit this low chord. And he goes, you guys remind me of the Lads when we used to ride around in a van. So I took that as a compliment,
Whoa! Yeah. Wow. Really nice to finally talk to you.
Me too.
Okay. Let's start there.
Diamond Girl was the first hit record I ever played on. I was about 18 at the time, and Louis Shelton had been playing guitar, the producer, great producer, on my dad's TV show, which is the Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour. They were the pit band. And so I used to play with these pros down there, sit in with the professionals. And Louis Shelton heard me playing some of the England Dan John Ford Coley he'd produced, and Seals and Crofts, heard me playing some of their songs and asked me if I wanted to do a session because one of my other heroes, Joe Sample, got sick and he couldn't make the date. So I filled in for him, and it was Diamond Girl. And that was my first hit record. So, and the rest of the album was fantastic, but that was just like hearing an angel sing, you know what I mean? Coming down with these songs from nowhere, Dash harmonizing with them. It was fantastic. All the A players.
There was this thing a program director told me, a first program director who actually sold me that Studer there for $1,000. I know it's worth a lot more.
Yeah.
He said, how does a song make you feel? He says, yeah, it's got the hooks and all that stuff. But he says, well, now and then we've gotten, this is in 83 when I got into radio. He says, how does it make you feel? And I remember thinking of Seals and Crofts and the fact that a lot of their music, I know the Baha'i faith probably had a lot to do with it. They were really plugged into something. But there's something to how something kind of plugs you in, how it makes you feel beyond the hooks and everything else.
It does. I think when music, especially that, when you get that intricate, I was just telling someone that I learned my production protocol came out so much from Steely Dan and from Seals and Crofts. Those are the two bands that we learned to get out the microscope and to make sure technically everything was really good and that all the music will fit on top of each other. Because there's a lot of production if you listen to us or Seals and Crofts and even Steely. Steely takes an immense amount of time with their, they did when I was working with them, at least, with their albums. And so we learned to really nitpick and this was before machines and before you could tune the vocals and do all this stuff that everybody would have to really knuckle down and pay attention and like I said, try and make the best music that you possibly can. So Seals of the Cross, that's what that album.
And reaction to Jimmy passing?
A bittersweet feeling. I'm glad Jimmy is making music upstairs with all the other great musicians, including my father. And but I'll miss him dearly.
The great David Paich. All the albums that you see running while we're doing the interview are albums that he either wrote songs on, mostly played on, or he was involved in the mechanics behind the scenes. What an incredibly prolific musician. One of my favorite interviews. Such a nice man, huh? We'll have more from David Paich coming up in the next few days. If you join our Patreon, you'll have access to the clips before anyone else. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.